Good morning. Can I get a catch a booyah? Previously on KIMBA TV, I would have been like, I got to somewhere around here. I probably would have closed. I don't know how I would have done it. You know, I would have missed the bearish retest of that, so I couldn't have shorted and I couldn't have gotten out. Would I have stopped out in profit on the lower low? I think so. You know, I'm not going to get stopped out on my 160 long there, but if I had a long from here, I would think that a lower low, I probably would have closed it out. And then if I did want to take a short, I probably would have gone swing high, swing low. You know that the golden pocket is right on the VWAP. That would have been my entry. That would have been my stop loss. And that's basic strategy. So if you did hear it over the weekend, there you go. Good morning, good morning. Shall we get into it, Lions? Shall we get into this juicy juice, Lion? We just bing bong ding dong and all these hoes, you know what I mean? Based off of this, I don't know if we're going to move out of range today. Maybe just crab today on S&P. Obviously I have longs on S&P, so I would like higher, but maybe it just crabs. So we'll have to watch volume. What about crypto? Same plan as yesterday. I think we can still grab that thang down there. What did got him. All right, stop the music. Any questions? You guys okay? Everybody caught up? Batusi says, I'm still trying to juice from a bad entry from last night. Just take the loss. Make sure you don't get got, okay? Batusi, remember, the most important thing in this game is that you can do the right thing. All right, so make sure you put your stop loss at break even, tiny profit. Make sure you have your invalidations. Don't hope. All right, the math is the math. Peter, what's going on? How far are we with the NFT, or did I miss something? Yeah, definitely, you know, make sure you get caught up on the weekend stuff and, you know, yesterday's stream. But let me know if you have any questions. I will never know how much of the NFT discussions you were here for. I'll never know if you heard everything about the hedge fund, right? Everybody's going to get $50,000, Peter. Not everybody, but everybody that deserves it. So I'm excited, man. KIMBA NFT. We going to get juicy but Gucci, Peter. Let's go. Shawarma, let's go. Dave took these. Says BTC confusing as fuck. Make sure you're caught up on the highlights. It doesn't get any easier, Dave. Yeah, look at the open interest in the Delta, Dave. It's easy money, Bugatti money. Truth is the truth, says Kimba. When did you talk about NFTs? Was it Saturday? We've been pretty much talking about it the whole week. Yeah, do you have any questions? You can always ask in the channel. So truth is the truth. This is kind of like the progression, if you will, okay? First things first, do you know that we've been talking about KIMBA NFT for quite some time? So Thursday is the day. All right. Having the NFT is going to give you access to exclusive areas. Exclusive areas on the dashboard, exclusive access to tutorial videos and educational content, and it's going to significantly increase your chances of winning future giveaways. So in essence, it should pay for itself. All right. The other thing that I want you to think about truth is I've never really tried to promote the stream ever. I don't use Twitter to my benefit. I don't put out YouTube shorts that could get me a whole bunch of traffic. All I've done for the last 4 years is just stream. And, you know, like, I don't even make highlights. MGK makes highlights. You know, the music videos, it's community driven. So, you know, whether you saw me with 40 viewers or you saw me with 400, everything that we've done in terms of growing the community and getting more viewers is all just pure organicness. So imagine when I actually try to promote the stream. We should have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 viewers. For example, if you own an NFT, you will have access to an audio channel. So every day you can pop in and ask me stuff. All right. You'll have access to a audio channel. And you can pop into the Discord audio channel and ask me stuff. Every income that comes from the stream is going to go to a publicly viewable wallet. So whether it's the exclamation, like send a message to KIMBA, right? Or love and support, it all goes to a publicly viewable wallet. All right. When we do the Solana mint, it's going to go to the Lithuania treasury. All right. And then once the KIMBA token comes out, you guys will be able to use that to vote on how to spend that money. So let's say, for example, the Lithuania treasury has $500,000. You guys can vote to say, hey, let's do a $200,000 giveaway. You know what I'm saying? Also, truth is the truth. I'm going to be throwing in anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million, got to be testnet, of my own money into the Lithuania treasury. Okay? Probably it's going to be about $500,000, $500,000. So we're going to start doing quizzes and tests. Okay? And if you are the top 10 for that month, you're going to get access to $50,000. I'm going to send you $50,000. It's got to be testnet. Okay? And you either can use it for 2 months or until you have a negative 10% drawdown. So if you hit negative 10%, then you're done. All right? Or you can keep trading it for 2 months. And you get to keep 80% of the profits. 20% of the profits goes back into the Lithuania treasury. And it just cycles through. So let's say, for example, September 10th, we start launching quizzes and tests, right? And on October 1st, we'll take a look at who has the top 10 scorers. They're going to get $50K. And on the dashboard, you'll be able to see who has what. Scalper says, like a real prop firm, except my shit is free. You don't have to do anything. I don't need anything from you. Prop firms, you have to pay to gain access. For me, you just have to be fucking watching the stream. So step 1, KIMBA NFT this week. Step 2, KIMBA coin. Step 3, nerd out. Subathon will wrap. We're going to give away a whole bunch of money. So today I want to do like I want to do a 2-bit giveaway. I want to do a BTCC giveaway. I want to do a KCEX giveaway. You guys ready? So we're just starting the KIMBA TV 2.0. That's what this is all about. It just comes down to how aware are you of your competition. You know, some people like do not have a genuine grasp of how incredibly smart and hardworking other people can be. So they have this misguided self-illusion that they're hardworking or they're smart, but they're just fucking average. But for sure, yeah. Maddie I says there are real demons out there. Please be careful. Oh yeah, you got to be a beast. Yeah. Dole Kong says, is that why usually second kids are more smart? Could be. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. For WEEX says, I don't know much of these people. Well, you got to step your game up. Yeah. And you don't need to personally know super wealthy and successful people, but read books. You know, there are so many people that have done amazing things in human history, like nerd out, you know. That's what I always tell people is like, imagine trading and never learning basic strategy, right? Like not knowing, oh, that's bullish, or oh, that's bearish. Oh, this is a bull div. Oh, that's a bear div. Imagine like never reading or listening to highly successful people and just like doing your own thing, right? That fucking is crazy, I feel like. If you talk to, read, nerd out, study, like all the successful people in human history, they all have very, very similar overlapping mindsets and ways to think about and go about life, you know? So imagine like just doing your own thing and never trying to figure out what other successful people, like how they think or how they do things, you know? Like that's crazy. So just nerd out, y'all. You know, don't like make up shit. Don't do whatever you think is right. You know what I mean? Fuck what you think, bro. You are coping, you are hoping, you know. Don't do what, you know, what you think is right. Know what I mean? Let's go! Easy money, Bugatti money. Quit playing with me. You gotta know what you're doing. Do you think ES is still bullish? Yeah. I've been here the whole fucking time, bro. So we drew it like that. So that's the volume node, and it's kind of slow. I thought we would have been above 64.45 by now. So I don't know. It's just bing bong ding dong. This is literally it's just scribbling. What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the same as yesterday. I'm still waiting for 105. Okay? Make sure you get caught up. I've already talked to you about where I'm looking to long Bitcoin, where I'm looking to long ETH, where I'm looking to long Sol. I've set alerts with you guys. If you have any questions on where my next trades are, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Saturday nerd out, Sunday nerd out, yesterday stream. Let's go. TTV Strict says, can you tell more plans for Solana? I don't think so. I've been talking about everything for so long. I mean, do you have any questions for me? Hit me with a question. TTV Strict. I don't think I can TA Sol any more than we've already done since the weekend. I've like broken down everything. Hit me with a question. Tell me what it is that you still don't know about Sol. Can you hit me with a question? Because we talked about the fib, we talked about the VWAP. I showed you literally on Saturday, I did a 2-hour lesson on open interest and CVD. So you should already know how to read the data. You should already have the VWAP. You should already have the value area high, value area low. You already know about the Fibonacci. You already know where all the bad lows and bad highs are. Is there anything else that I can cover? I don't think so. But you tell me. TTV Strict. As I feel like as long as you watched the Saturday Nerd Out and the Sunday Nerd Out, you're good. Trust what you know. You know? Don't ask me every day, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Like, you know what I think, right? So tell me if the CVD looks bullish or bearish. Tell me if the open interest looks bullish or bearish. If you don't know, it's fine. Tell me that. You know? but tell me, what is it about the Saturday nerd out that is confusing where you still can't figure out how to read open interest or CVD? Help me help you. Don't just ask me stupid shit like, what do you think? What do you mean, what do I think? So help me help you. All right? But everything has been talked about. I don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know something, help me help you understand it. Okay? But can you tell me if the CVD is bullish or bearish? Can you tell me if the open interest is bullish or bearish? And if you can't, if you still don't know how to read this data, tell me, and I can do it again. You know, but tell me what from the Saturday nerd out didn't make sense. Because somebody was like, hey, even my pet parrot is understanding this. Somebody's pet parrot was understanding it. Okay? I basically have taught my 5-year-old niece how to tell me how to see if open interest delta is bullish or bearish. I know you can do it. So what about the Saturday nerd out when I showed you guys how to read open interest and CVD? What about that was confusing? And what about that do you need me to go over? Tell me what you didn't know and help me get you caught up on that aspect. What do you guys think about the S&P TA? Not too shabby, right? And I'm certainly not gonna get got. It would be generational juice if we can obviously get up to 6,600, but I'm not going to get got, so quit playing with me. We got 16 minutes on the 30-minute candle close. We are in power hour. All right, descending volume. You know what it is. You know what it is. Okay, Pixel Bugatti. All right, what do you think about these levels, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think we're still gonna get lower? It's not really so much about, okay, so first off, yeah. I mean, I haven't taken the Sui long, I haven't taken the Tau long, right? So it is what it is. Yeah, and really what I'm not really so interested in like a Tau long or a Sui long, but what I'm really interested in is the GDP PCE trade. So, I'll be here hella early tomorrow because I have a bunch of international phone calls I have to do. So there's a chance that I might be here at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Just kind of depends. But yeah, I mean, of course I'm going to be looking to long on pullbacks, you know, but, none of my levels have hit yet for Sui and Tau and shit like that. So, yeah. But I'll eventually chase it if I really need to on like a significant structure change. And I mean, I'm bullish on ES on higher time frame too. So that's going to be crazy. But, ladies and gentlemen, the math don't play, boy. Kachoy bubuya. Suzulu. XLR says, I gotta wake up in 3 hours for work, take a nap. Oh man, you're a beast, dude. Sleep well, XLR. Love you, big dog. Haskir says, Kimba, take a look on Sol. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Kachoy boo boo yap in this bitch. What is that, 7.5? Yes, so that's perfect. But you see how like Sol looks a little bit different than Sui and Tau? Would you say that Sol is stronger or weaker than Sui? Remember, Sol's already doing this. And Tau. Tau wicked and came all the way back. Yeah, so Sol, you know how I think about Sol. You know what I think about Sol, right? You know what I think about Sol. Catch a boo-boo-ya. Officially, Delta says, I'm trying to draw an ETH right now. Feel like something is happening. So the first thing that I would maybe think about doing is looking at ETH BTC. And it is above that level. And as long as it's above that level, it's bullish. Okay? ETH, yeah, I mean, it's Gucci Magucci. Yeah, it's Gucci. I still think all of these levels are in play. Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for 10,000. So, yes, sir. Look at this. Watch. Kachai bubuya. All right, let's go. Anything else you guys want to look at? Paul, let's go, man. Yeah, Paul Allen. In general, Paul, if you didn't know anything, what do you think about the plan starting around the first week of August? The idea that any pullback, we're looking for longs, we're trying to get into longs, we're trying to front run the rate cut. And anticipating, thinking about worst case scenario, using leverage smart, being prepared, having plan A, B, C, D. Any questions? You guys okay? What a day, man. Shout outs to everybody that's been following along with me on this S&P ride. Huh? Dot also juicing? Brother. Every fucking day there should be an altcoin that's juicing. Lord have mercy, guys. I'm telling you, if ETH does what I want it to do, if Sol gets to 230, yeah, I'm done. And everything else will kind of count towards profit of next year. So that's fantastic. But yeah, 216, 230, we'll see what that done, lily do. As we approach GDP, well, so let me ask you this: have you been keeping track of like what's going on in like in the political side of the U.S.? Schwiggity. Like Trump fired the Fed person. The Fed person was like, "No, fuck you, I'm not leaving." And so, do you understand? And like, have you heard Jerome Powell talking about how he uses PCE to figure out if he wants to do rate cuts, and how the rest of the governors in general take a look at those data points? Now, I want you to think about, okay, so we're going to get GDP and PCE this week. On a Fed week like this week, what's my biggest confluence? I said it this morning many times, but, fuck CVD or open interest on altcoins or Bitcoin. My number one priority has always been S&P confluence when it comes to week like this. So you guys already know what my thoughts are on S&P and the position that I have. And we got filled live. We sat through it. We added. We talked about the single print. We talked about the VWAP. We talked about the box. I mean, and then at this point, if it does come back and it does something like this, that's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, any questions that you guys want to kind of talk about? So basically, like we said, we are not just, trading for the sake of it, but we're trying to ride the wave that we think is going to come on Thursday, Friday. Yeah, and this is going to be very, very exciting. I mean, so this is for September, right? This is for October. And then this is for December. Yes. Yes. I mean, let's do what it do, boy. Yo, Gucci Magucci. And let's get it. We talked about this a couple, I want to say like a month or two ago.
What did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
Yeah, we talked about this a month or two ago, but you know, when we talked about this, you know, remember guys, you know, once the single print gets grabbed, you know, anything below 111 really, right? Whether it's 110, 109, 108, you know, 107, 106, 105, like, you know, just like we did with Soul, you know, just like we did with Soul, lower leverage and just pa-ping, 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 you know, and if you really wanted to do it, pa-ping, 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 pa-ping. That's all it is. You know, nothing too crazy. So just normal Bugatti. Now, if you want to do like high leverage and scalp, you know, you might kind of fuck yourself, but just keep it simple, y'all. All right. Any questions? Yeah, but we'll take it juice by juice, level by level. I don't think it's really that hard. You know, keep an eye on this. You guys know what it is. But juicy day today, kind of slow on S&P, but alrighty. Zantri says, hey, Kimba, some people take seasonality into consideration. September is usually a slow bearish month. Do you care about seasonality at all? Only to be aware of it. So, but here's the thing, Zantri. Like, some people will just look at price action. And what I want you to understand is I don't really look at price action. I look at the data. So, you know what a hidden bearish divergence is, right? Some people are going to say, hey, Kimba, it's doing exactly what it did in September. Because let's say, for example, do you understand that these are both bear flags, but they might not all be the same? So for example, from here to here, if the CVD is doing something like this, what does that mean? That's a hidden CVD bear div. Do you understand? And then if you look at this, and if it's doing this, that is not a hidden CVD bear div. Therefore, this one might be a little bit more bearish. Do you understand? What if we were looking at, what if there's VWAP right here? Okay. And then what if VWAP is right here? Right. What if, you know, on the smaller time frame, this is a bear div, but this just looks like this. So this one could have a hidden CVD bear div, a regular bear div, single print, and VWAP. This one could have no bearish div, no regular bear div, the VWAP is here. And so the point that I'm trying to make is, like September could do this. Okay, but what I want to know is what did the CVD open interest RSI look like last September, and what do we look like now? Imagine if the RSI was like here last year, and then but this year it's here, or vice versa. So I'm not gonna just be like, oh, every September it does this. If the data lines up, then awesome. If the oscillating data, like the open interest, the volume, the CVD, you know, even things like the geopolitical market, like if it's like the same sentiment, then that's awesome. But what if it's the complete opposite? So it's really just about data. Too many times people will be like,
motherfucker, the math is the math.
oh, this looks like last year, or oh, this looks like this. But then I'm like, yeah, but look at the RSI, and it's the complete opposite. Yaya says, do you think Sui and Tua front ran? No, I don't think so. I think it's always the same thing, Yaya, is that if you're not prepared, the markets will show you. And I think the biggest thing maybe for Lion Cubs or people that missed any sort of long is, one, you have to figure out, why did I miss it? Right? Like, why did you miss it? I don't know if you just were not thinking and you weren't prepared. I don't know, like, what are some of the basic protocols that we go through, Yaya? You should always have a above here bullish, below here bearish. So it might be as simple as you don't have that, right? If you think, or if you haven't been trading long enough to have been front ran or miss a long or a short enough times to realize that you need to have a proper way to responsibly chase it. You know, for me, I have a zone where I say, okay, if I don't get what I want from here to here, you know, or before this level, I need to get in. Have you been here long enough to hear me explain, okay, if I don't get this, I need to get in before we break above this level. Or if I don't get that short that I want, I need to get it before we lose this level. Even earlier today, somebody was asking about how do you chase? And I said you should have the most aggressive way to take a long. You should have the second most aggressive way to take a long, and then the higher time frame conservative way to take a long, right? But all of those, you have the probability of getting front ran or left behind. You know, if it's really, really bearish, it's most likely going to leave you behind. That's the name of the game. It's going to stop. It's not going to dump until all the shorts are stopped out. It's not going to pump until all the longs are stopped out, right? If you have a lot of retail traders on the long or short, you're super high probability to get stopped out. So thinking that you're going to get papinked where you want to get papinked, just think about this for a second. You are a retail trader. Only about 5 to 7% of retail traders are actually successful. So you're telling me that, do you think it's high probability or low probability that your retail ass is going to get filled where you want to get filled? Is it high probability or low probability that our retail asses is going to get filled where we want to get filled? You do understand that you waiting to get filled is like the lowest probable outcome, right? You getting filled where you want to get filled is the lowest probable outcome. You know that, right? Just conceptually. So you need to make sure the highest probable thing that you're probably going to have to do on a trade is enter or chase beyond or below or above where you wanted to do it. So it's always good to have a zone. It's always good to have good, solid invalidations so you don't get got. Yeah. But you just need to understand that getting round tripped or getting left at the train station is the highest probable outcome. Make sense? I mean, that's just what it is. But the people that can't deal with that are the people that are destined to lose. Okay? It's like baseball. Do you understand that you can go into the Hall of Fame in baseball if you can just hit the ball 3 out of 10 times? So this is like baseball. You don't need to get 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It's impossible. Like, do you remember when we were talking about, like here, for example? So like on the smaller time frame, right? That's 7.5, right? You're also going to have all of these value levels. Okay? So, for example, like you really don't have a gap. I mean, you don't really have like strong resistance. People were asking, hey, are you going to short that VWAP? Is that a good short? And we already talked about it's a big volume gap. So, you know, if you really wanted to short, like it would be better to do it up there or just wait for the 216 or 230. You know, just have all of these levels kind of marked out so you know bing bong ding dong. Yeah, I mean, you know Fibonacci. Yeah, but you know, on this, for example, we were already on the smaller time frame and we were talking about, look, if you think it's going to get out of here, you know, you're looking for structure change. So this was what you were looking at on Sui, Tau, Sol, anything really. This is kind of like your zone and buffer. Alrighty. Yeah, but I don't really need a Sui or a Tau long, but I'm not in a Sui or a Tau long. But that's okay. And I'm juicing. This does not make me feel like I missed the fucking Sui long, to be honest with you. So it might just be like difference of perspective and time frame. Yeah. Like if you think you got front ran, maybe, but I'm not tripping. I mean, I just want you to understand, brother, that these lows were put in June. So I can wait 2-3 extra days. I've already been waiting for how fucking long? Okay? We went up this much and we're back here again. So why the fuck would I trip about that? So don't get got on some day-to-day thing. You know what I mean? Just because you didn't get what you wanted today or this week, like, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. You still just got to, your job is to not try to predict, you know, be prepared, do your best. And I want you to enjoy it. I don't want you to be like a fucking nervous wreck, like, you know, constantly, you know, ups and downs, you know, emotions swinging left and right. Oh, I did good. Oh, I did bad. Oh, I'm so fucking stupid. Oh, I'm a fucking genius. You know, it's really not about like the one day to day. So yeah, you just got to do your best and we're going to fucking, you know, go day by day. All right. Maybe we do get left behind, you know, that's okay. There's so many other lagging altcoins that, you know, if it front runs that bitch and if it goes, it goes. You know what I would do if I really wanted to chase it, dude? Like this is clearly the range breakdown. Okay, it doesn't want to make, if it's not going to sweep, I'm going to anchor it on that low right there. And look, like it's above value area low. That's your point of control. Like if it really wants to, and I see some like break like this, I can just take the point of control. That's my stop loss. I'm going to have to do lower leverage and I'll aim for the higher rotate. If you're going to do some 33x bullshit and if you get entered at 345 and if it goes down to 318, you get wrecked, or you can't read that the CVD divergences are looking good, or you can't read open interest delta and you have no fucking reason and you're just trying to like blindly take a trident or something, then yeah, you might get fucked. But trident is possible, value area low, Fibonacci pullback, anchor your VWAP from here. And then if it does pull back, does it look good? Is there a hidden CVD bull div? What does the open interest delta look like? All right, Bitcoin doing its thing, level to level. Watch out for those fixed range volume profiles. You know what to do. All right, don't get got, Lions. Please do not get got. You cannot lose money by missing out on a trade or getting left at the train station. You can certainly get fucked doing some FOMO shit, emotional shit, not being prepared, getting got, longing the top, shorting the bottom. All right. So I'm rooting for you guys. Kachoy boo boo, yeah. I'll be back in about 5-6 hours, y'all. How many of you guys are gonna be here in about 5-6 hours?
Left at the station, can't go
I'll be back in a couple of hours, y'all. Can I get a kachoya?
Couldn't catch it,
Love you guys.
let it run.